You know, I thought I'd be further along in life by now. I mean, I just always thought that, but I'm not. And I'm actually cool with that. But let me tell you a story. When I was younger, like high school, pre high school, what is that, middle school, junior high, whatever. Anyway, back then, I thought that there was no one more ambitious than I was. I mean, I mean, I actually had a uh, picture. I had the cover of Time with Donald Trump on it. Him holding a um, Ace of Spades, I think. I mean, I was wildly ambitious, and no one was more ambitious than I was. And I just thought that because I'm ambitious and because I think I'm smart and intelligent, I was just going to be successful. I had a picture of a 300Z, I think 300Z Nissan, on my bathroom mirror. I mean, that's what you do. You take pictures of things you want, you post them around your house. In my case, around my room and my bathroom, and you were just gonna get these things. And so I had the car. It was super fast, and that's what I wanted. I just couldn't wait to get away from my parents. And I was just going to be successful. And I am so thankful that didn't happen back then because I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? I know I wouldn't be the person I am today. I just wouldn't be that likable. I've become very arrogant and sure and conceited uh, of myself just because things worked out the way that I thought they should. And when things like that, when you have success very early on or very early in life, it can blind you to other things or things you never even considered because you had success early on. One of the worst things that could happen to somebody is that this is just on a emotional maturity aspect. One of the worst things that happen is that you try something once and you're wildly successful at it, and then you start thinking that this is how it's always going to go, and it just sets you up for not having the mental or emotional resilience to handle it when things don't go your way, because inevitably in life things don't go our way. Now I'm sure for somebody somewhere, I mean, there's like what, 7, 8 billion people on the planet. Somewhere, maybe things always go that way, and that's cool. But I'm talking about the vast majority. I'm talking about myself. It doesn't always happen that way. So things didn't happen the way that I wanted them to, and that was okay. That was fine. I mean, that's okay. One of the things I can say is that by not having all the success, and when I'm talking about success, let me be clear. I'm talking about having resources, having abundance to do what I want to do when I want to do it, just however I want to do it. Get what I want, just do what I want. That's what I thought I would think of when I'm talking about success. I mean, you can have success, you have great friendships, you can be great in school, but that's what I'm talking about. So, one of the benefits that I have of not being where I thought I'd be by this point is perspective, meaning I can reflect and think about things and think about how things were and versus how they are now. And I can think about um, how things they don't always work out the way you want them to, and being okay with that, finding peace and acceptance in that. It's very important for me to like myself. I'm like, my belief is that you only get one you, I only get one me, and it's important that me and me are good friends with each other. I don't need to be um, particularly hard on myself because I am me. I know I'm talking in circles, but it's just like an overall mental philosophy I have for myself. And I also understand that it does lead to a blind spot where I'm overly optimistic. I may discount the downside. One of the things that I have a problem with is I consistently underestimate the significance of things, the gravity of the situation. And for the most part, it plays my favor, but sometimes I don't understand, and it hits me hard. But I'm aware, and that's something else with the perspective, self-awareness, um, because I'm just open and accepting of things that I'm not aware of. One of the things that I have as perspective is I can look backwards and see what were the, I won't say mistakes, but let's say errors, or let's say my map wasn't the territory. What were some things I didn't quite understand when I was making these decisions? And how can I use what I know now to help somebody else, like my kids or anyone else that is listening? Um, so those are some big things that I'm thankful for. And the other thing that I'm amazed at is, and also thankful for, is that your dreams don't die after a certain age. You still have your dreams. You still have your ambition, or you can still have your ambition. I understand now that desire isn't something that's given to you by God, but it's more of a biological need that you have to have as a species to survive. So now they got that out of the way. I'm just thankful because the desire is the hope of a better future, hope that things that I'm working on now will mature, and I will have, quote unquote, made it or be where I would want it to be at some point in the future. Because right now I'm in the messy middle, in the beginning. Hey, things might not work out. And that's something I'm completely accepting of. There's no guarantees. Understand that there are no guarantees in life. Yeah, there are things that are more likely to happen than others based on circumstances. But again, there's no guarantees. And one thing I do remember hearing, I think Gary Vee, he was on stage somewhere, and he said, who in the audience is chronologically, who is as old as your parents were, but you're chronologically younger? I'm sure we get it backwards. What I'm saying is that when my parents were my age now, and I looked at them, I thought of them as old. Not necessarily vibrant. Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad. But I'm just saying, like, you think of your parents as being old and kind of out of it because they're older. I mean, that's what it was. But now, I mean, he chalked it up to social media, but it seems like the uh, years have compressed, and you can have a lot more in common with someone who's decades younger than you than you could, let's say, 30 years ago. And that's cool to me. That's really, I'm really happy about that because it creates like a vibrancy, a vitality for my life where you can talk to people who are younger than you, and you can talk to people that are older than you, and you can still have a conversation or be of the same mindset. That wasn't going to happen when I was uh, 30 years ago, or let's say when I was a kid. That wasn't something I never saw. Um, like my grandparents talking to someone who was in their 30s that wasn't related to them. You know what I mean? So, hey, look, if you're not where you thought you'd be by now in life, that's okay. Understand? I mean, hey, look, I don't know your situation, but understand that it's okay. It's part of this thing called life. Things don't always work out. The thing is to accept where you're at, but you don't have to stay where you're at. You have to try and do something and understand that it's in the effort to change that all the fun is, not in the change happening. Because if everything is based on the change happening, then you're kind of setting yourself up for a lot of heartbreak because maybe the change doesn't happen. Maybe it does. But you can become somebody different in the process of attempting to make the change happen. That's what's happening with me with this YouTube thing. I don't want to call it a YouTube thing, but I mean, this YouTube thing. I don't know what's going to happen. It's just me um, practicing, putting myself out there, and just sharing, letting people know. I mean, honestly, for years and years and years, I never thought I had anything to share. But here I am, many videos in, sharing something, sharing things that I think could have helped me um, earlier. I mean, like 6 months ago, like 2 years ago, and maybe it's helping you. Well, listen, that's all I got for now. Thanks for listening.